Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the Denver Broncos. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out. The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken at the 10. "21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They go play action now. Jackson. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know They want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Quez Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their dreams of an undefeated season shattered with the loss a week ago. Now, look, whenever an undefeated team goes down, you always hear some say, well, they needed that. I don't know, Charles. Is that a narrative that you buy into?
Well, I haven't met a coach yet that feels like they needed that loss. You know, that's not something that they're in favor of. But I do know this. People like us, our colleagues, all of us in the media, constantly hammering a team that's undefeated. Hey, do you think you can do it the whole season? Can you carry it the whole way? That does wear down a group, and sometimes that loss, get us off your back, you can move forward from there.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. They'll look to throw here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
This will be taken at the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. It's the 48th of the field, a 90-yard punt return. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go back to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Sitting at first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
On play action, they'll throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. Open man has got it, the tight end.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Their fullback try and push the pile. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Running right, here's Sanders. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw taken in by Watkins here. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 15-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end here. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Sanders. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are. But let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
2nd and 9 now. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off near the 34. And this return is going to be hit right around the 28-yard line. After the interception, here's Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. Touchdown. Watkins. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles are able to add on to their first-half lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on the job.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his second TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. He'll look to throw. This one complete to the running back, Chase Edmonds. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face a third down. Back to throw here. Pressure, too much this time. Fletcher Cox able to record his 5th sack of the season.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run at Sanders. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that run. Oh, that's impressive.
And we saw a lot of that a week ago when he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll run on 1st down. Sanders And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The kick by Elliott is good. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And incomplete on the deep ball. Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Now Sanders, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So tack on 3 more, though that's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there inside. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. Charles rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
104 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Now a carry for Sanders. And they'll get this down to the 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. The kick by Elliott is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even starting to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Javon Hargrave there on the stop. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. The Broncos on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12. They'll drop to throw. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up fourth down. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
It's a second down run with Sanders, and he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Another run with Sanders.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Doug Costin with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. An unbelievable punt there. We're talking 70-plus yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They begin the drive with Williams. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They run it again with Williams. Showed some strong running, but quickly corralled just beyond the 10-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Philadelphia, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss will drop them to 6-2 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been